So what's up guys, this is another tutorial on migrating Drupal on Rails. What you see here is the newly created, actually copied data from our Drupal to Ruby on Rails. It's running currently on Ruby on Rails. You see I changed a bit the design but kept the main parts intact. If we look on the old one, you see the logo. I created a new one. I removed this block. I think it's really not usable, at least at this point of time. And so, what else? I left also the pagination here in the new site like that, using will paginate gem, which I'll cover later in this tut. Now, as you can see, one problem I encountered is what we're actually seeing here is teasers, which are like summaries, which are not automatically generated because HTML, I found it hard to cut and I didn't write any parsers, so I just kept small parts, basically small copies of the beginnings, let's define it like that, of the posts, and I just show them on the in the old site, in the list, in the so-called index. And when you clicked, say like here on the article itself, then you came to the fuller. This is not a good example, but you get the idea. Let's say if we click in here, then you see the post expands, and actually it's a little trick. So we keep the post in the Drupal's node, whatever, but we keep the teaser in another data field. And so how it worked, let's see. So we had the node revision and node revisions, which had actually this teaser column, and I took the values from here. Also know that we had this field data body, which is useful in terms that it contains the relevant data. I think it was teaser. I don't remember. I didn't use it. Another interesting table is this one. I decided just not to go too deep, and I stayed using these two, right? So let's actually cover the stuff, how I got this teaser, and it was pretty easy. I did a join with node revisions, took the teaser, right, and that was my query. I actually had to, I truncated everything in the database to make everything clean and start from zero, and then I ran this query, and then and before I added a string column teaser to the post. Another important thing was to copy the images themselves from Drupal. I copied everything just to this public images folder. Then for each post I updated the body, actually the description, which is the body, and the teaser. So I went and replaced every occurrence of stuff like, you know, images RC equals to sites default blah 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 with, you know, src equals to images and blah blah, whatever was that blah in here. And that's the way how I did it. Just ran it in the Rails console. So if you go and inspect any image, you'll see this /images, and that's basically that. Yeah, images, and every image now in just images, just as simple as that. So now let's get to the code, and this is the actual index. This is all we have in there, actually: post and paginate. And as I said, I used the will paginate gem, and so I also added the slim gem, which allows us to, instead of rendering in ERB or HTML, whatever, do things just like that. This is class, this is link, just everything just slimmer, like Hamel. And in the header we have this logo, and then we just print all the posts. Almost the same we have when we enter the post itself page. Just add a little back arrow, which looks like that, and that's it. If we go to this SAS file, you can see I imported this Janone Coffee Sats font. This is a font from the Google provider. I like it, it's a very nice font. So for that to work, you see we define the font face and the font URL. So font URL is actually asset URL kind of alias, and so for that to work, I added to the application this config. We extend the path for with the fonts directory. So if we look at this directory, you'll see there are standard like images and style sheet and the font. Other than that, I didn't use anything special in styling the elements. I didn't even use the BEM methodology. Really, that's all it is there, and I'm kind of happy with the result, which finally looks like that. And if we narrow down the resolution, the width of this page, then it's kind of nicely responds, except the images, which let's leave them like that. So to sum it up, the challenges were: one is to write those regular expressions that replace the images, and another one is to have this, to deal with the fonts, to create this font directory. Yeah, the other stuff came pretty automatically. Yeah, I'm pretty much happy about that, and I'm probably gonna continue sometime this website. Hope you enjoyed this video. Write comments, like, subscribe. Thank you.